Just me and you, Conley? Gotta get more people over here. It is time to smoke. It's always time to smoke. Sorry, just moving some pictures around my desktop, but wanted to talk about where the fuck is my pictures file? Oh, there we go. Wanted to talk about the absolute insanity that we're seeing as a result, or in the wake of, I should say, this attempted assassination. What the fuck? Cash. Okay. My Saturday was off. Midday Saturday, we attended the funeral for a young lady who passed tragically. A gentleman that my wife had worked with for 20 years, and every time she moved companies, she brought him along as a foreman, and they had a great working relationship, and she brought his wife along and everything. Their 26-year-old daughter was killed in a car accident, aggravated DUI, recently, and Saturday was the funeral. So you have the funeral Saturday midday, followed by the assassination attempt in the evening. Yes, Saturday was a pretty fucked up day. Yeah, so nothing really to celebrate at any front on Saturday. Today we're just chilling. My wife's on the phone with her aunt right now. I made a bunch of content and posted it to TikTok. Doing this live now, trying to build this platform up a little bit as well. We're going to be starting a series on this platform, YouTube, called Riding with Renee, and it's going to be dash cam footage of Renee and I in the car when she's had maybe a little bit too much edible and she starts to crack herself up. I've got a shitload of footage that I just got to break down and edit that I can start making some short videos for YouTube on, and then I can go ahead and just keep adding to that series as we continue to drive around and film ourselves in the car. So if you guys could spread the word on that, that would be spectacular. Right, the OnlyFans. Yeah, I know. I'm not thinking there's going to be an OnlyFans account for me anytime soon, my friend. That is definitely not going to be in the cards for me. Ain't nobody wants to see that shit, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody want to see that shit. So if you're new to this page, if you're new to this account, make sure you subscribe to this page. This is my YouTube page. Got a new series coming up that is only going to, videos that are only going to be here on my YouTube page, and it's called Riding with Renee, and it's a series of dash cam videos for when Renee and I are riding around and she's had a little bit too much edible. So make sure you subscribe here while you're here. If this is the first time you're here, well, hello from Ireland. That's a long way away. OnlyFans is nothing but porn. That is a fact. Now, I've heard that there are people on there that are just posing nude, that it's not necessarily pornography. Either way, I ain't doing porn or posing nude. It's just not happening. Even if I was in shape, wouldn't happen. Taco truck 2024, yes. Um, my wife wants me to turn that suit and tie with the podium bit. She wants me to turn that into a recurring skit on TikTok. I really don't have a desire to get into my suit that often, and I do say my suit because I just have the one. I rarely have a need for a goddamn suit. You know what I mean? And it just so happens that I have one for weddings, funerals, whatnot, what have you. And when the guy said you should do a video in your suit and tie with your taco hat, I was like, fuck it, let's do it. So, as I said though, make sure you subscribe over here for the videos that I post here. And some coming up are going to be exclusive to just here. Los Angeles, hello, how are you? Where is everybody else from? There aren't a ton of people in here at the moment, but there are 28 of us, so where's everybody from? She's talking to her aunt. She talks loud. You know what I'm saying? She's fucking loud. Eh, what am I going to do? You know what I mean? I'm over here, I'm just chilling. It's fucking Sunday. So, North Carolina, Minnesota. We got a couple from North Carolina in here. Do I have a contingency fan base in North Carolina? Like if I need to leave Illinois? Watching from Ireland. I'm sorry, but America is like a strange uncle that no one wants to talk to. That absolutely no fucking lie there. Sure would. Okay, so you're a hop, skip, and a jump away. I wish they would finish the River Road Bridge. It's pissing me off. We've got Nevada, Pennsylvania, Utah, a blue dot in Arkansas, Waukegan. I disagree with a lot of your beliefs, a lot of the beliefs you have, but I have nothing but respect for you. The only thing I debate is how you group whole groups when you talk. Hope Sunday is a good day for you. Uh, I do, from time to time, have a tendency to paint with a broad brush. I will admit that. Which is why I tried to add the caveats. Obviously, not everybody from this group is who I'm talking about. But I can understand what you're saying. Thank you. Maine. I do not lean toward any political party, but it does bother me that people are condoning the actions of yesterday and saying stuff like should have aimed better. Yeah, listen, there's no place for violence in our politics. There's just, like I said earlier, when God damn, what is her name? How the fuck am I forgetting her name now? The Democrat from California, when she said that we need to get in the faces of these conservatives wherever they are. It's shit like that that is going to cause a confrontation to turn violent, and then it's going to be on her hands. So when I wanted her to retire, that's kind of like what I was fucking talking about. You know what I mean? Maxine Waters, exactly. Maxine Waters. It's like you cannot fucking say, go get in their fucking faces. Now, if you want to say peacefully protest their places of employment, you want to peacefully protest. I mean, you want to stand outside the Supreme Court, you want to stand outside Congress, you want to stand outside the White House, and you want to protest all fucking day long. By all means, you should be allowed to do so. Get in their faces. You know that pushes us to a fucking a tipping point, and I didn't agree with it then, and I don't fucking agree with it now. And so no, I don't agree with anybody who happens to be celebrating what happened yesterday. I mean, listen, if and when Trump eventually passes, if he's going to eventually pass, if it happens before I end up leaving this earth, and when it does happen, I'm not going to lose any fucking sleep over it. But I'm definitely not going to celebrate nor condone anybody trying to take him out like that. I would rather beat that motherfucker at the ballot box than by having somebody snipe him, because at the end of the fucking day, if that guy yesterday had been successful, you would have never heard the end of Trumpers. Ever. Ever. We would have always heard how he would have won. If we can beat him at the ballot box, we can show that this country rejected their way of thinking. This country said, no, we're not going to think like that. And then it holds more weight, right? you do something like that yesterday, and that's all it does is martyr the man and make us forever hear how he would have won, how we couldn't beat him, so we had to take him out. All of that kind of shit. So no, and to be honest with you, I'm kind of pissed off that they took the fucking guy out, right? Because I would like to hear from that guy, but we can't now. I'm confused because the official reports now say that he was shot and then his body recovered on a rooftop outside the perimeter across the street. Okay, fine. That's the official report. There is video of somebody who was shot in the head, it looks like, in the stands, who are being carried out by what appear to be law enforcement agents or Secret Service of some kind. You know, 4 guys, each has an appendage, an arm, leg, and they got some kind of rag, towel, or T-shirt over his head and face so you can't see him. Who was that? Was that because initially it was said that was the shooter, and I know that people are going to say, and I'm not saying that this is a conspiracy. I'm trying to understand who this was. I know people are going to say, well, that was one of the 2 people that the shooter accidentally shot and died. Why are they carrying him out like that? Why are they carrying him out by his appendages with a rag over his head? That doesn't make sense to me. Anyway. Your brother was at the Capitol when real Americans stormed the Capitol and he got away without being charged. R.I.P. Ashley Babbitt. Ashley Babbitt was a domestic terrorist who got exactly what she had coming to her. There were no real Americans storming the Capitol on January 6th. Those were domestic terrorists. And the only thing that the cop who shot Ashley Babbitt did wrong that day was he only took one of those motherfuckers out. That's literally the only thing he did wrong. But we weren't talking about January 6th, and we weren't talking about Ashley Babbitt, but here we are. So a reminder to anybody who just came in, we're having a conversation here, but a reminder to anybody who just came in, this is my YouTube channel. Make sure you subscribe here. I've got new content coming up that you're only going to be able to see here. Video content that will not be anywhere else. It's going to be video footage from inside my car, from the dash cam of Renee and I driving around. It's going to be called Riding with Renee, and it's going to be video of predominantly Renee when she's had a little bit too much edible and she starts cracking herself up. You are only going to be able to see that here. So make sure you subscribe here and spread the word to everybody you know, please. I want to blow this side up, please. I'm convinced Trump was hit by something. Listen, so let's talk about the conspiracies for a second here. I don't believe that this was staged. I don't believe that this was put on. Maybe I'm going to be proven wrong. I don't believe that this was put on by the Trump campaign or conservatives or MAGA or anything like that. You hear the shots. You see everybody's instant reaction. You see Trump stop talking and go like, what the fuck's going on? Then all of a sudden he goes like this, and then they're on top of him and he's down. And when he comes up, he's got blood. I believe he was hit. Whether it was hit by a bullet or hit by a fragment of his screen for his teleprompter, doesn't matter, he was hit. The crowd not running away is odd. Now, maybe they just all freaked out and didn't know what to do. Maybe the Secret Service yelled out, "Get down," and that's what everybody did, not knowing that whether or not it was being directed at them. I do not believe this was staged. Listen, if this was staged, do you know how fucking damaging that would be to his campaign? I cannot believe that this was staged. I mean, anyway, I don't think it was staged. There are things about the whole thing that don't make sense. But each instance is different. And like I said, the fact that nobody's scattered, it could simply be a matter of, the Secret Service yelling out, to other Secret Service agents and the president, "Get down." But everybody in the vicinity that heard it hears "Get down" after the crack of a few rounds, and seeing Trump do this and go down, and maybe they all just got down because they thought that they were being commanded to get down. Not to mention the fact that if that was a setup, you know that everybody in the arena would have to be in on it. You're telling me you're going to keep a conspiracy among that many hillbillies? Those motherfuckers would get drunk and run their fucking mouth at the local watering hole in 12 seconds flat. There's no fucking way in hell they could keep that conspiracy going among all those hundreds of people. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. Security failure? Yes, Connolly. I believe that 100%. I mean, there is no fucking reason in hell that the Secret Service should not have been on all of those rooftops. It's the fucking Secret Service. They're literally the fucking best at what they do. They know what's going on. Yes. Security failure, yes. Great thread on Twitter from former Secret Service that said the perimeter was primarily local law enforcement responsibility. Interesting. I always thought that there was a certain distance away from the event, whatever that event was, that Secret Service was responsible for locking down. And maybe that is the case, and it's just a lot smaller or shorter than I had ever anticipated it was. I've never really done any research into that, but I'll have to do some later on today. Now that we're talking about it, Donald Trump releases new statement in breaking news. Okay, I'll look at that later. His staged Bible op is why people think this was staged too. Listen, I'm not saying that he has not staged some shit. Fucking Biden has staged shit. Obama has staged shit. Bush, Clinton, Reagan, every one of these morons stages shit like that. Absolutely. This one, no. I think somebody was like, I'm gonna fucking take this guy out. The pausing for the photo op of the Secret Service was really weird. Usually they're like, fuck that, we're out of here, we're moving. Right? They're gone. But he came up and he put his arms around them and almost was like he was trying to hold them back. It doesn't make sense. Plus, it doesn't make sense him getting up and like leaning over the Secret Service agent and throwing his fist in the air. We all know how much of a coward he is. Somebody tried to rush the stage at one of the previous election cycles, and he almost took the whole fucking podium with him. He was so scared shitless. So that doesn't make sense either. But I believe he was hit. I believe he was shot. I believe that this was a real attempted assassination. And I haven't looked. Is anybody? I don't have my computer. Well, I sort of have my computer up doing other stuff. Anybody have a computer in front of them that can check out when the last attempted presidential assassination was? That Reagan? Because I know that death threats skyrocketed when Obama came in office, but I don't know if anybody actually attempted it with Obama or Bush or Clinton or Poppy. It was Reagan when he got fucking when he took a couple, right? When Brady got hit. Yeah, that's it. Fucking 80s. And before that, Kennedy, right? Would a round like that do little damage? Oh, they tried to get Ford, didn't they? I don't know what the round was, so I can't answer. Ford, okay. So it was Reagan, it was Ford, it was Nixon before him. Not Nixon. Was Nixon ever? No, Kennedy. But Elliot, I don't know what round it was. All I heard was that he had a rifle. So what? I mean, could he have even fucking hit him in the ear from that distance with a 22 rifle? I mean, it had to be something a little bit more ballsy than a 22, no? The last unsuccessful attempt before Reagan was Theodore Roosevelt. See, and I don't know if it was an AR-15 either. I think it's something in between. The news is saying an AR-15. Interesting, because you would have... I don't know. Maybe he was just that bad of a shot. Hey, guys, could you let some folks over on TikTok know we're over here? Send them over here. Bring them over here. I hope that Biden doesn't let up on Trump because of this. He was finally getting some momentum. He won't. He won't. Trump's going to play it up big. Trump's base is going to play it up big. Trump's surrogates are going to play it up big. Elected Republicans in Congress are going to play it up big. You're going to see a whole effort by the House Republicans in trying to investigate ties this guy had to any Democrat whatsoever. So, coyote hunt with a 22. Then they say he could have had a silencer on his gun. I have not heard that. Do they just default to AR-15 without knowing? Well, here's the deal. The AR-15 is used so often, and before we go any further with this conversation, I am not in favor of an assault weapons ban. I am not in favor of banning the AR-15. Having said that, the reason why the AR-15 becomes the default guess for people in situations like this is because of how often it is the weapon of choice for events like this. And so, I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Hang on a second. Can I share this? Hang on. Where? I did see the tripod on the roof photos. Yes, I did. It looks like this. It's hard for me not to say kid, given the fact that I'm 52 and he was he 22 or 20? He was 20. It certainly looks like this kid came prepared, right? He managed to get a rifle and a tripod, and it had to be a rifle with a scope, and a tripod onto a roof just outside and across the street from an event where the Secret Service were guarding a former president and current nominee to be the next president, and he got off 5 rounds. Shot what, 3 people? Or do we say 4 with the president, or with Trump? I'm 32 and he's a kid to me. Exactly, right? It's not meant to be offensive by any stretch of the imagination. When I refer to somebody who's 20 years old as a kid, it's because I have a fucking kid who's going to be 20 this year. You know what I mean? That's the reason why. I did hear that they found devices in his car. Yes. I did hear that there was something in his car that was a bit naughty. You say it's a bomb. I just heard devices, which I assumed to be some type of explosive device as well, in his fucking car. Listen, he clearly came there believing he wasn't leaving there, right? You're gonna take a shot at a former president surrounded by Secret Service, and you've left your car sort of wired, or at least with the ability to blow up should they come and look for it. He knew he wasn't leaving. I haven't heard about explosives in the car yet. I mean, the home. Heard about it in the car, but I haven't heard about it in the home. Didn't this kid live with his parents still? He just graduated in 22. Doesn't Trump have to pick a VP in like a day? He's got to pick a VP by the end of this coming week, I believe. Or there might be a deadline coming up sooner on it. Listen, he's got somebody in mind. We're going to find out who it is. I doubt that this thing changes it, right? It just is something that this coming week is the Republican National Convention in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and they are going to talk about this attempted assassination ad nauseum. It is going to be the only thing they're going to discuss. Look at what they tried to do. They can't beat us, so this is what they're trying to do. It is that's all you're going to hear for the next week. Are you the guy that said I used to say the N-word? Well, Dread Jupiter, I don't even know who you are, so how could I say what you used to say? Person who knew the shooter is school said the shooter was bullied all the time. I did read 2 articles saying that. Oh, I used to say the N-word. Yes, I used to say the N-word. Yes, I did. Chase in Austin, hello. What is this? You shared this on TikTok? Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. There was a message retracted. Do you still have an N-word pass? I never had an N-word pass. The guitar behind you is beautiful. Thank you very much. It's a D'Angelico semi-hollow body with the Grateful Dead 13-point bolt and red, white, and blue paint job. I got a little cheap ass $125, $115 acoustic back here that used to hang there. But yeah, that's that. And then there's my mini guitars over there. Forgive all the shit on my floor. There's shit everywhere. There's files, there's shoes, there's all kinds of shit. But there's my mini guitars. Show us your mushroom tip. Mrs. Powell's the only one that gets to see that. I can imagine Dead and Company in Vegas was pretty insane. Where's your favorite place to get Italian beef? Like ever? Oh, probably Johnny's in Elmwood Park. You're so sorry for your words. Why? You're allowed to ask questions here. Got some dirt on your forehead. No, I don't. For the last 30 years, this spot right here will discolor and look like it just came back from Ash Wednesday, and then it'll go away, and it'll discolor, and it'll go away. It just happens. And it really depends on what light you put it in sometimes. But yeah, it just happens. Anyway, going back to Saba's question, best place, my favorite place to get Italian beef, Johnny's on North Avenue is 1, and Al's Beef is 2, with Portillo's being 3. Oh, Trump will run on this. There's no. That's a bruise. Well, it's a bruise that's been coming and going for 30 years. Trump will definitely run on this. He will run on this, and he will sell merch on this. He will raise money on this. That picture of him like this with his fist in the air, that is going to be fucking everywhere. Everywhere. Downtown Joliet did get some damage this morning. There's a question on whether or not it was a microburst or a tornado, but the roof of the Route 66 museum collapsed. Portions of it collapsed, and portions of the roof from Joliet Junior College wound up in front of that same restaurant in the middle of the road in downtown Joliet. I forgot it's YouTube. I don't have to turn the camera. He's already selling trading cards with the fist bump. I wouldn't be surprised. I don't think this was staged. I made a video about it today. I don't think it's staged. I'm the level of insanity that would have to go into staging this is, I mean, just think about this for a minute. If let's just assume for a second they did, and I don't think that they did. If they staged it, then they killed an American citizen. Was it 1 or 2 people that died in the crowd? They killed an American citizen in order to further a political campaign. Oh, he's going to get a massive bump in donations. He's going to rake money in left and right. He's going to be able to pay his lawyers for another couple of months easily. Easily. And that's where the money's going to. It's all going to his lawyers. What the fuck are all these goddamn... I don't want all of that shit popping up on my... Ooh, 226,500 downloads on my podcast. All time. That's nice. How does this affect his delayed sentencing? It doesn't at all. Hello, Louisville. And that's how you guys, just so that you guys understand, we in the North sometimes say Louisville. Sometimes I've heard people say Louisville. If you're in Kentucky, it's Louisville. And there's like, it all kind of runs together. It's Louisville. And if you say it any other way, they will correct you. It's not Louisville. It's Louisville. Ha ha ha, go Trump. Yeah, we wish he would go. Far, far away. What's with the pink alligator? Make sure you share this everywhere, over on your Facebook, over on your Instagram, over on your Twitter, over on your TikTok. Bring some people over here. If you're just coming in here and you haven't been here before, make sure you subscribe to this channel. There is going to be content coming up in the very near future that is only going to be able to be seen here. Orlando, Florida, hello. Can Biden and Trump be friends? Not a chance in hell. Do you think this handed Trump the election? No. You think this was staged? No. I think it was a true attempt on his life. I truly do. And no, I don't think this handed Trump the election. I did a video today asking, who do you think this swayed? Anybody that was going to vote for Trump was already going to vote for Trump. There isn't a suburban housewife or a small business owner out in the burbs that looks at this election and goes, man, I don't know who to vote for, but that really made me want to vote for Trump. If they were going to vote for Trump, they were already going to vote for Trump. He definitely just won. Well, then you guys should have nothing to worry about. You should be able to sit back, put your feet up and coast for a few months and just enjoy the W. Will this affect sentencing? I don't believe so. I know a lot of people think it was staged. I don't think it was staged. This will swing independence. How do you figure this will swing independence? Just curious as to know your reasoning behind that statement. Well, we don't know if the guy was Republican or not, right? I mean, that's the whole thing. Is he registered as a Republican when he was 18, but when he was 17, he donated $15 to Act Blue, which is a voter registration turnout machine for Democrats. So at 17, he donates $15 to a liberal organization. At 18, he registers as a Republican, and when he commits the crime and his body is recovered, he's wearing a T-shirt from a YouTube channel that's a little bit more conservative, I heard, and it's got to do with firearms and shit like that. And so it appears, and maybe it's all him trying to appear to, but it appears as if he gets out of high school and he becomes conservative. Have you checked Hawk's TikTok? He seems a little on edge. A little on edge how? I haven't seen his stuff. I saw some stuff from last night, but I don't think anything today. Yes, they identified the shooter. He's got one of those three. He's like one of those three names. I can't remember. His last name is Crooks. He's 20 years old. He's from 43 miles away from where the shooting took place. He graduated in 22. He gave $15 to a Democratic organization, Act Blue, when he was 17. At 18, he registered as a Republican, and then he commits this crime. This would have been his first election he could vote in. What does this say here? Regarding your earlier question about them carrying out someone from the stands, an eyewitness said they carried him out so that a helicopter could pick him up. Who? Because that's the thing. The shooter wasn't in the stands, according to the official FBI reports. According to what the FBI is putting out, that he was on a rooftop outside the perimeter across the street. So who did they carry out of the stands? Was it a victim? Or was it somebody that was accidentally shot by a Secret Service? Who was that? Yeah, I don't know what. Like I said, I saw a couple of Hawks videos last night, but I don't know if somebody's got an issue. I don't know. Oh, he was a victim. Okay. Why is Biden so mad at Trump? Are you really asking that question? It was a 50-year-old victim. God damn. 50. That it's too goddamn young to die. So he never changed his party affiliation. Never changed it from what? He just became of legal age 2 years ago, and he registered to vote. Now he could have it. It literally, guys, it could be something as simple as he registered to vote as a Republican so that he could vote against Donald Trump in the primary in Pennsylvania because he knew Joe Biden was going to win Pennsylvania, and he could change his party affiliation later if he wanted to. And you have to register in order to vote in the primary in Pennsylvania. It's a closed primary state. It may be something that simple. I think it was one of the people hitting the stands. Yes. Do you wipe from the front? IR the back? What? Shapiro just announced victim's name. Corey Campitori was defending family from gunfire. Victim, ex-volunteer fire chief Corey Campitori. Amen, Crystal. Too young to go when you're a spectator at an event. Too young to go at any time, but absolutely. What you just said doesn't make any sense. Why doesn't it make any sense? If you don't mind me asking. So I could clarify for you and try to make it, try to say it in a better way, I guess. Can you just tell me what doesn't make any sense? Hi, back at you, Blondie. If there's anybody new that's popped in here, hello, how you doing? We're having a conversation about whatever comes to your mind, but we're primarily talking about the assassination attempt on Trump. Welcome in. If you're new here, tell us where you're from. I recommend reading David Frum's piece at The Atlantic, The Gunman and the Would-Be Dictator. It's very enlightening. Interesting. Thank you very much for that. Let me screen grab that, as a matter of fact. Guy who tried to give him chest compressions was interviewed. How you doing? I'm doing fine. Okay, now I understand what doesn't make sense. You say he could have just voted Dem to vote against Donald J. Trump. Yes, he could in the general election, which is in November. In the primary, there was a concerted effort among Democrats to have people vote in the primary. That, like, when an incumbent like Joe Biden is running, they're almost assured to get the nomination. So you don't have to show up to vote for Joe Biden in the primary. But if you voted in the Republican primary, if you voted against Donald Trump in the primary, maybe you could stop him from becoming the nominee, right? So a bunch of people who were on the Democratic side in states where there are closed primaries, which means if you want to vote in the Republican primary, you have to register as a Republican. If you want to vote in the Democratic primary, you have to register as a Democrat. A lot of Democrats in those closed primary states registered as Republicans to vote in the Republican primary against Donald Trump in the hopes to keep him from getting the nomination. So it's possible that the shooter registered as a Republican 2 years ago when he became of age in order to vote against Donald Trump in the primary with the plans on voting for Joe Biden no matter what in November. Does that make sense? I know there are crazies on both sides. But are you surprised this happened at a Trump rally versus a Biden rally? No. No, I'm not. I am. I'm surprised it didn't happen sooner. There's so much violence surrounding the Trump movement in and of itself. It's all hatred. I mean, you've got the candidate himself telling his crowd to rough people up, and he's a very he elicits a very visceral response from people on the left and the right. There are hardcore right wing people, like the folks over at the Lincoln Project. These are people who have fought vigorously against liberal ideals and liberal policies and liberal candidates for years. People who helped run vicious attacks against people like Obama, who have said, "Whoa, this is insanity. This guy cannot be our flag bearer." And so, no, I'm not surprised. It's grotesque that it happens. Who was it? It was Good Trouble. Yeah, it was Good Trouble who did a video, I think, yesterday, who said that's Banana Republic type shit, right? That's Banana Republic type shit. We don't attempt to assassinate our elected officials. And he's right. He's right. Listen, I fucking despise Trump with the passion of 1,000 suns. And the day he takes his last breath, I am going to crack a smile. I am not going to shed a tear, and I am going to firmly believe that the world is a better place. Having said that, not that way. Not beat him at the ballot box, not with this bullshit assassination attempt. Beat him at the ballot box, because if you beat him at the ballot box, you show his base that the nation firmly, again, rejected his form of governance, rejected his policies, rejected his ideas. Not, well, look, they couldn't beat him, so they killed him. You know what I mean? And that's what it would be forever and ever and ever, amen. They would make that fucking picture into a statue, and that's what you would hear for the rest of your life. As it is, what you're going to hear for the rest of your life if he loses in 2024 is they couldn't beat him, so they stole it from him twice. And you're going to hear that forever. But at least if we can beat him at the ballot box and not take him out at the podium, then we can show the world, no, we didn't pull some Banana Republic shit. We rejected his ideals. Oh, they're always going to say it was rigged. They're never not going to say it's rigged. And if they lose the next election, they'll say it was rigged. And every time they lose a midterm again, they'll say it was rigged. Everything that they lose moving forward, until we flush a generation through the election cycle, would be my guess. Everything moving forward that the Republicans lose is going to be rigged until they keep losing to the point where they go, hey, what we're saying isn't working. And then that'll go away. It's taken them a long time to get there because of the hold Trump has on the party. Oh, I forgot, it's not TikTok. Yep, ballots, not bullets. Politics shouldn't be a popularity contest. Exactly. But I mean, that's what it turns out to be. I mean, think about this. You got Trump challenging Joe Biden to a fucking a round of golf. What? You got Marjorie Taylor Greene, or was it Lauren Boebert? I think it was Marjorie Taylor Greene, saying that she wanted to do a live debate with AOC. You guys aren't running against each other. You want to debate her on the floor of the House as you guys are debating policy. You know what I mean? Let's see here. Where is my friend Conley? Here's Conley. You are now a moderator, so when you see chumps like Big Daddy come in, you can feel free to boot them. Democrats need to stop talking about that debate in public. Stop talking about your feeling about Biden in public. No, it's not that they need to stop talking about it in public. They need to stop freaking the fuck out. He had one bad debate moment and a bad interview before the fucking conventions even happened. And listen, I'm basing what I'm seeing on the gentleman who was correctly predicted the last 10 presidential elections. Think about how many fucking years that is. This guy developed the 13 keys to winning the White House in 1980. And the 13 keys to winning the White House were developed by studying and analyzing presidential election history dating back to the 1860s. And the dude rattled off 10 accurate predictions in a row. They say he's 9 for 10 because of the 2000 election when Bush's brother stole it for him in Florida, and then the Supreme Court backed it up. But he accurately predicted Gore in that election, who actually won the election. So he's 10 for 10. And he's telling us, based on the 13 keys to winning the White House, the Democrats' best chance to win the White House in 2024 is with Joe Biden at the top of the ticket. Period. It's all style and no substance for the golf match, the debate, or whatnot. When an arm wrestling match is challenged, then we know it's over. She says that to get a reaction would never follow through. Joe Rogan started that whole debate nonsense. It's fucking nuts. It's fucking nuts. I don't want fucking members of Congress doing this fucking pay-per-view bullshit. You want to debate one another, do it on the fucking floor of the House while debating a bill that's going to benefit the American fucking people. I don't give a shit whether you and AOC and Marjorie Taylor Greene have some fucking mock debate somewhere for an office that doesn't fucking exist. That's why I hate TikTok debates so much. Right? The fucking TikTok debates drive me nuts. A TikTok debate is a left-wing creator and a right-wing creator talking over each other for 2 hours, neither changing the other's mind, and then spending the next 2 weeks each making content at the other person talking about how they own them. Pass. Fucking pass. What do you think about the guys that got interviewed saying they tried one? I made a video about it. I think it's something that needs to be looked at. I mean, the guy was talking about the roof where the fucking shooter was. So, I mean, it certainly seems odd to me. Biden plans to deliver extended remarks to the nation Sunday evening in a primetime address from the Oval Office. I wish the motherfucker would just stop speaking. Seriously. Dude, if you want Kamala Harris to take over because you're having second thoughts, fine. Have her take over in February. I'm serious. Debate isn't about changing minds. It's about understanding the other's points of view. Okay, have you ever seen a TikTok debate that has resulted in somebody understanding better the other's point of view? They do it just to boost their views. I understand that that's another reason why they do it. They get a lot of people in their live. They get gifts. They get, I understand that. I guess I'd rather do it a different way. Who is Vince Fusca and why is he a big deal at the rally? Okay, the guy with the hat, Vince Fusca. Okay, let me explain this to you. Hang on a second. This is going to take a hit. Vince Fusca is this weird looking motherfucker with like a permanent 5 o'clock shadow, some shady fucking eyebrows, and a little ball hat. Not a baseball cap, it's just a weird looking hat. The QAnon crowd, which makes up a good chunk of Donald Trump's voting base, believes that JFK Jr. is still alive and secretly working with Donald Trump. And they think that this guy Fusca is JFK Jr. And I'm not joking. There are millions of people in this country that believe this dude is actually JFK Jr. And so he goes to rallies because fucking people love him and everybody wants to take a picture with him. And everybody wants to get his autograph, and so he's fucking loving it, right? And that's who he is. The QAnon crowd believes that he is JFK Jr. in disguise. It's fucking insane. It's fucking insane. It's, say it with me now, everybody together, it's fucking insane. I'll be right back. All right, where are we at here? Sorry about that. To be fair, with TikTok debates, what about last year when you were live? What is this? For a few hours with the two trans ladies. Correct me if I'm wrong. I wouldn't say that was a debate, but no, that wasn't a debate. So I had said something that offended people in a few different communities, and the trans community being the primary one. And that was a couple of trans people talking to me about how, while I didn't think I crossed the line, that I did cross the line. And so we were having a conversation about having a conversation. Stupid beard. Oh, is that your nickname or something? Grandpa, is that you? I don't know if I'm your grandpa or not. I mean, I did fuck a lot of hoes back in the day, so your mama might be mine, but who the fuck knows? What's your take on the person that's on the roof at Trump event on yesterday? Now some people think this is staged. It's what we've been talking about here. I don't believe it's staged. And just so if there's anybody that popped in here new recently and that's just joined us, make sure that you subscribe here. I have video content that's going to be coming up that's only going to be available here. It's not going to be on TikTok. It's not going to be on Instagram. It's not going to be on Facebook or Twitter or anywhere else. It's only going to be here. So make sure you subscribe here for that new content that's going to be forthcoming in the next couple of weeks. Yeah, couple of weeks. Time-traveling lumberjack of the Confederacy. Is that the name of your memoir or what? There was a picture that went viral of the guy's face half blown off on a body cam. Interesting. I'd like to see that. Considering he's nearly a foot shorter than John. Yeah, right? The dude that they think is John. It's nuts. I wonder how much pie that guy is getting just by looking like JFK. What was deleted? Oh, stupid. She deleted stupid beard. The person, the roof could have been LE as part of the protection. Interesting. Staying off the grid was timed out by KM Conley for 600 seconds. First of all, how long is 600 seconds? If somebody could do the math really quick for me. Timed out, does that mean that they can't see anything or they can't comment, or what is that? I have no idea. This is my first ever YouTube live. Hey, back at you, Sports Takes. Just subscribe to this page. I got video content that's only going to be available here coming up the next couple of weeks. Can you not count? Yeah, just not that quickly. I suck at math. 10 minutes. Thank you very much. They're in a timeout for 10 minutes. That is an interesting feature. New subscriber here. Love your content. Thank you very much. So I'm going to have new content coming up on this platform, only on this platform. That's going to be dash cam footage from inside my car of me and Renee driving around while she's had a little bit too much edible and starts cracking herself the fuck up. Basically, the conversations we have in the car when we're driving around. Obviously, not all of them. When we get to talk and gossip about somebody, we're going to probably leave that out. But that's going to be a new series called Riding with Renee that's going to be coming up on this channel only. None of that content is going to be anywhere else but here. Hey sis, wrong channel, homie. If I had a dash cam where I am driving with my wife, you're what? Have you ever watched The World According to Jesse Ventura? No, I haven't. Have you thought of a name? Can you see me? Hello? Is it me you're looking for? All right, we're back. A little bit of lag. Interesting. I wonder why it's lagging. I'm on full Wi-Fi here. We're kicking ass with the bars. So if I just fucked with you guys and paused like randomly, you wouldn't know if it was me or if it was the feed, right? Would you? I mean, because if you're saying it's pausing on your end, then you just don't know one of those things are going to come out of the woodwork, right? It's got to be the gremlins. Listen, whenever something like that happens, it's always the gremlins for me. How many iPhones have you owned? Just me. So our plan consists of me, my wife, currently, our daughter Lily, our son Tommy, my mother-in-law, my father-in-law. Used to have my daughter Maggie on there as well. Plus, there's a couple of iPads, and my wife and my daughter have iWatches. I think they just sync up to their phones now. Me personally, like my phone, I have an iPad over here. This is my little iPad. For iPhones though, a shitload, unfortunately, I think. Thousands of dollars worth of iPhones. I don't even know how many we've had. I personally have had. It's a shitload of them though. I fucking loved my BlackBerry. Loved it. And I never wanted to give it up. And I fought moving to iPhone. And then it was unavoidable. And now it's everything. It's iWatches, iPads, iPhones, everything's synced up with one another. Everything's going to connect with one another. And we're going to be doing more lives over here as well as on TikTok. But I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my iPad, put it on TikTok, and put it off to the side, like filming me talking to the YouTube live. We're going to try that a few times as well. Went to Chicago last week. First time. I thought it was pretty amazing. It is. Thank you very, very much for enjoying our lovely area. Come back frequently. Plus a little fuckery on your part. Yes, it is. Sorry, I apologize for that. BlackBerry with the side scroll. I'm trying to tell you, fucking BlackBerry was a shit. Thoughts on how disappointing the Cubs have been so far this year? The Cubs have been hot fucking garbage. Hot fucking garbage. And I've lived through some shitty Cubs times, but my God, it's like they're completely fucking irrelevant. Still a droid slappy here. Haven't been interested enough to make the switch. I went from BlackBerry to iPhone, Guys, share this live on your Facebook, on your Twitter, on your Instagram. Go tell people on TikTok to come over. Yes, it'll be a live simulcast. I went from BlackBerry to iPhone, and then I was like, I want to go to I want to do the Android, and I did Android for like a cup of coffee. And when I say like a cup of coffee, I didn't have my Android longer than a couple of weeks. I could not fucking stand that phone. I could not stand that phone. I wanted to throw that goddamn phone out the fucking window every single day from the moment I bought it. And so I went back to iPhone, and I love my iPhones. Fucking love my iPhones. I just don't like the fucking cost. Do you think the housing market is going to go down before 2019? $400,000 cost for a house was $250,000. Is the price going to go down? No. No. Are the rates going to go down? Yes. They're not going to go down anytime soon. Let's put it that way. We're on the verge of the largest transfer of wealth in human history. For the most part, and this is not universal, for the most part, the baby boomers' children, okay, are the millennials. The Gen Xers' children, for the most part, are the Gen Alphas. The Gen Zs. Sorry, Gen Zs. Now you have millennials having Gen Alphas. The baby boomers are dying off in massive numbers, and they have all the wealth. And what the health industry doesn't chew up, what the nursing home doesn't chew up, is going to be transferred to their millennial children. It's going to be the greatest transfer of wealth in human history, most likely. And the question is, what do the millennials then do with that? Because then the next in line for them is going to be their children, which are the Gen Alphas. Gen Xers, who for the most part have given birth to the Gen Zers, are going to pass down whatever they have to Gen Z in the next 30 years, 40 years. It's going to be happening in earnest. You know what I mean? Which is why I believe what you're seeing happening with the corporations trying to buy up as many houses as humanly possible is them seeing this massive transfer coming and seeing how much of it they can't pick off. Cubs are leading St. Louis 4-2, top of the sixth right now. Sweet. Too much demand, not enough supply. Whoa. My kid finally got his first house at 35 for a ridiculous amount of money. It is vile what rent is right now. My parents are boomers and I'm Gen X 49. That wealth will go to Gen X. No. Yes, if your parents are boomers. Whoever the boomers have kids, but for the most part, boomers gave birth to the millennials. Because you see, the generations go boomers, Gen X, millennials. This generation doesn't give birth to the immediate next generation, typically speaking. It gives birth to the next generation before. Or after, sorry. I get calls to buy my house 4 to 6 times a week. People just, it's not a bot, it's a person calling, would you accept a cash offer on your home? And I say yes every fucking time. And then every fucking time they say, do you have a number in mind? And every fucking time I say 1.4 million. And they all go, are you sure that we're looking at the same house? And I go, yeah, we're looking at the same house. You can't possibly think that house is actually worth 1.4 million. I'm not the one that called. You're interested in buying my house. I wasn't interested in selling it to you. But if you're interested in buying my house, that's the number, 1.4 million. And I tell them all the same thing every time. You put 1.4 million in my bank account today, I am out of this house in 5 days. It's yours. When's the last time you've been to Richmond, Virginia? I have no idea. We've decided to stay where we are. Then later, when we inherit parents' house, no mortgage. Yeah. There are no houses for me to inherit. Whatever my wife and I have is going to go to our 4 kids in the form of property, other financial assets, and whatever companies we have. Heard you say that. I've done that too since then. Gotten a F off before the click. Yes, gotten a fuck off before the click. Yes, listen, if you're going to call me and you're going to say, hey, I want to buy your house, then you're going to make it worth my while. You're going to make it worth my while. I have lived in this house for 19 years. I've raised my family in this house. I have been paying down on this house for so long that while there's still a good chunk to pay off, I've got a fuck ton of equity built up in this house. We, my wife and I, obviously, have a fuck ton of equity built up in this house. And if you're going to call me and tell me you want to make a cash offer for my house, then goddamn it, you are going to fucking pay for it. Period. We bought this house for $184, $185 in 04. 05. Sorry, 05. It'll be 20 years this February. And they're telling us we can get like 280, 300. Sometimes you'll see people say, oh, you can get low 3s. Fucking what? This is not a $280,000 house by any stretch of the fucking imagination. I love my house, but it's not a it's not a $250,000 house.
Your dad does it to you all the time.
What?
Huh?
You done?
Yeah. He was sitting there shoving food in his mouth, and I walked past him, and I went like this, and he went, I went, wait, your dad does it to you all the time.
What's he eating? Pizza rolls?
What are you eating, bud?
Pizza rolls.
Pepperoni pizza rolls. You're really branching out there.
Well, we're gonna wrap this up.
No, stay here.
No, because I want to put my feet up.
Dead.
I want to put my feet up. What does he have? Give me my fucking sock back. You piece of shit. Walks in, just fucking snags a sock. All right, guys. Don't forget to subscribe here. All right?